Welcome back to Just Scribble. Today I wanted to share with you the newest exclusive leather from Chic Sparrow called Callahan. It launched on Monday the 8th and I have a sample for it, actually 2 samples for it in this little envelope. So I wanted to share that with you because it is a very unique leather for Chic Sparrow. It's very different than anything that they've offered before. I do actually have a folio coming this leather as well, so you will see an unboxing of that too, but I wanted to just quickly show you guys the leather, what it looks like, and talk a little bit about the characteristics of it. And I also wanted to show you the new postcard that comes in your order from Chic Sparrow with their new logo on it. So this is the postcard that you get in your order. You may have seen in my recent, 900 million unboxings, the postcard that we were receiving that looks like this. And it talks about full grain leather and the natural characteristics here. And this was the postcard that you were receiving, but now we are getting the new postcard. This is their new logo, the C with the S that Jennifer designed. It is so pretty and so classy. I really, really like it. And on the back, it actually has a product warranty. So this thanks you for your purchase and talks about the limited lifetime warranty that applies to covers, folios, and bags. And so it has information here about that warranty and a little QR code, and then the information to fill out your proof of purchase so that you can keep this for each of your items. I think that is a really nice feature to be providing these cards with us. It will also help us keep track of our notebooks and what we've purchased. You could even take a little photo of your item and you could stick it onto the other side so that you had your warranty card here with the order number and the item purchased and a photo of your item on the back. So that is the new card with the new logo, but what we're here for really is the sample. There is a sticker in here. I got one of these the other day and now I have more than one, so I can definitely add this to my journal and not feel like I am using up my stash. And then these are my samples. This little wax bag is a little bit loud, so I'm going to open it up and take them out of the bag real quick, and then we will talk about the leather. So I did order 2 samples of this leather because I wanted to show you guys the different variations that you could get if you got this leather. And so I asked in my order notes if I could get 2 that were different from each other to show the variation differences. So you can see that the color in these is slightly different. This one is slightly lighter than this one. It is a very rugged leather. It is smooth to the touch, almost suede-like, not quite like nubic because it doesn't have quite such a fuzzy texture, but it's almost fuzzy. It is very, very, very soft. It is even softer, I think, than my March hare. Let me see. This is one of my March hares and it is really, really soft. So is Alice from the Carol collection, but this is even softer, like teddy bear, want to squish it and love on it soft. It is super, super soft. This is a top grain leather, and that is one of the things that is a little bit different with this leather because Chic Sparrow almost exclusively sells full grain leather. They very rarely sell top grain leather, which is like the second highest grade of leather, where the outmost layer of the hide has been removed, making the leather thinner and easier to work with. And this is a thin leather. So I'm gonna show you guys. See how thin that is in comparison. I'm going to show you a few different leathers so you guys can see the colors and the thicknesses. So these are the new Callahan leathers. This is Giovanni, so you can see the color there. This is Derby. Giovanni and Derby are both exclusives. And then these are waypoints. This is a quiet tan and this is a rich caramel. So you can see that the color of the Callahan is kind of similar to these waypoint leathers. This particular hide, which is a little bit lighter because there will be variations in the hide, this particular hide is closer in color to the rich caramel, whereas this particular hide is closer in color to quiet tan. I love quiet tan. It is my favorite waypoint leather ever. The color, I just love the pull up. I love everything about it. I think it is absolutely gorgeous. But they are similar. It's just that this is more golden and has sort of a yellow undertone. See that in the flesh because you can see the sort of golden caramel color here versus the reddish brown color here. So this is kind of like a mix of these two, which I think is awesome from a color perspective. Also, Waypoint is quite floppy and a very thin leather. So these are two different Waypoints and their thicknesses. And this, that third one right there, that is Callahan. So you can see how very, very thin it is. That is the reason why this is being sold in the number 7 design and in the folio design, because in the number 7 you have added structure because of the design, and I've talked about that in a couple of my number 7 unboxings. And in a folio, you want it to be thin and kind of hug your notebook. You really want it to just wrap around your notebook and make it like a book jacket for your notebook. And so this particular leather is being used for those two designs because it is very thin and quite floppy. It's even floppier than my Waypoint leathers are. In comparison for thickness to Derby, so this is Derby, and then behind it is a Callahan. And then this is Giovanni, which is very thin as well. So Giovanni, and then behind it, a Callahan. So that's kind of some color comparisons and some thickness comparisons. This is a much more rugged looking leather than Chic Sparrow usually offers, which is a little bit out of the norm, I feel like, but I do love it. I think it is really, really pretty. And the reason that I think it's pretty is because it is rugged. It looks like that old book that somebody has loved and used and just poured their heart and soul into. And I feel like that this leather is perfect for a folio where you journal or you art journal or creative journal, whatever it is that you do, because it will be like the book cover on that notebook. So that's why I ordered a folio, which I will unbox. A little bit more about this leather. As I said, it is rugged. It does have some pull up. So I'm going to smush this one so you can see. Now, you're not going to do that to your notebook. I mean, you could, but most people aren't going to take their notebook and squeeze it into a ball. But I will do it for my samples so that I can show you guys that it does have pull-up, but it's going to rub out and kind of diffuse over time. That's how Waypoint is as well. The more that you rub on it, as you can see, it's already kind of dissipating. That pull-up isn't going to stay permanently on there. So wherever your notebook gets bent or the spine area, it's going to have that lighter pull-up, but then where it is flat, if it were to get bent, if you were to rub on it, it would kind of come out. I hope that makes sense. Let's see, we talked about the texture. Two important things to note about this leather also are that it does have a very strong odor. It has a very unique odor. It smells like leather, but it doesn't smell like you walked into like a leather or a boot shop. It's kind of hard to put into words. This is going to sound kind of strange, but to me, it kind of smells like nature or a farm mixed with the leather. Sort of like grass and dirt and Mother Nature kind of mixed with a leather smell. But it is strong. You will notice it out of the gate. So if you are super sensitive to smells, which I am very sensitive to smells, but leather smells don't trigger my migraines. Other smells that I'm super sensitive to do. So for me, this leather is okay. If you are super sensitive to smells or any sort of odor can trigger a migraine or other sort of side effect for you, this probably isn't your leather. The other thing is that this leather can look almost dusty. So some of the hides or parts of the hides can appear a little bit dusty, and so they won't have sort of an oily finish look like the Waypoint usually does because of the oil content. It can look a little bit dusty depending on the angle. That's part of its rugged charm, but you do need to be aware of that because with creme, for example, you can get a piece of creme, a creme traveler's notebook or folio that is a little bit dusty or powdery finished, and a lot of people are bothered by that. They want it to have some sort of shine or sheen, and although in creme it will get that shine and sheen as you use it because it gets patina, it's perfectly normal for it to have that sort of powdery finish. It's not common, but it's not abnormal, and there's nothing wrong with the leather. This leather in particular, depending on the angle, can kind of have that dusty appearance. These two samples aren't super dusty looking or powder finished looking, but they're not shiny either. So if that's something that you like and you want a leather that has a shine or a sheen, this leather may not be for you. The other thing that is notable about this leather is that marks will rub out. So if you were to scratch it with your fingernail, it rubs right back out. if you had a pen that kind of rubbed up against your notebook and left a little mark, it will rub right back out. Now, it's not going to rub out if you actually scratch your notebook. So if you had a piece of metal like your keys do not like traveler's notebooks or folios. They're very, very mean to them. But if you had something that actually scratched up your notebook, it's not going to rub out. But the actual top will sort of blend and the scratch will become less noticeable. But if there's actually a scratch, like almost like a cut into your leather, it's obviously not going to repair itself. And I did scratch it a little bit when I rubbed this across it, but you can't really see it unless you catch just the right light to see the scratch. So marks that you get from tossing your notebook in and out of your bag, or from use, or from your pen rubbing against it, or you dropped it on the ground, or your kiddo scratched it with their little baby nails, or your dog scratched it with their little baby nails, most of those scratches and everything will rub out. So that is the Callahan leather. Like I said, it is very unique to Chic Sparrow. I'm really excited about it. It's not something I would want my entire traveler's notebook collection to be in. I wouldn't want everything that I had to be super, super rugged like this. But I am excited that they did offer this leather. I think that it is going to make a gorgeous folio. I can't wait to get mine and put my notebook in it. I think that it is going to look so lovely and so used and so loved. And I really, really like that. You can see also, I should have mentioned, the new logo on the leather samples. So you can see the new logo there also. So that is my share of the new Callahan exclusive leather from Chic Sparrow, how it compares to some other leathers in thickness, hand, and color, how the leather itself is, its characteristics, and all of those things. If you have any questions about this leather, please don't hesitate to comment below and I will definitely get back with you. Give me a thumbs up if you liked this video. Make sure you are subscribed so you don't miss my future videos, including my unboxing of my Callahan folio. And don't forget to just scribble.